So let's talk about the blueprint and just a little bit. I think it's fascinating, and I think that the way that Leela Life does it is so beautiful. And when I get to present it to somebody, the story and how their eyes spark when they're talking about their childhood and things that did bring them joy, and how they can realize how far they've come away from that. So just give a little bit of background about the blueprint and how it's such a foundational piece of the journey for somebody through this experience.
Again, let me just go 2 steps back before the
Okay.
blueprints because I think it segues well into the blueprint, which is really saying at the end of the day, there's a one-line secret that Indic Wellbeing tells you about how to get to a good life. And it's when you know that one-line secret that everything else then starts to make sense. And the one-line secret is this. For those of
Yeah, don't leave us hanging.
the one-line secret is this. The way to a great life, the way to a joyful life, the way to well-being is to live a life as closely aligned as possible to who you truly are. That's it. That's pretty much it. And like I keep saying this, right? Saying it's so simple, but till you know it, you don't know it.
Right.
And the moment I utter it, it's so simple. Oh, wow. That's it. And it becomes part of your life. We've heard that a number of times in salons. People say, now I can't unhear it.
Yeah.
It's now inside me. And so that's the underlying point, right? So how to get your life aligned to who you truly are is the objective of the method. That's pretty much what the method is trying to do, is to help you there.
Right.
So there are 2 parts, who I truly am and my daily life. There are 2 parts. So what the blueprint is trying to do is to help you figure out the first one, who I truly am. Because it's easier said than done, right? We all are surrounded by, that's right, so much noise and so much, sound that it's very difficult for us to sift through that and say, what's the signal here? Who am I? And the good news is that the Indic system actually has a very rather simple way of figuring that out in terms of at least saying who you truly are is really a function of what your innate qualities are. And we'll, of course, discuss innate qualities, but what your innate qualities are. So what the blueprint tries to do is really, more than anything else, help you discover what you already have. So it doesn't get new things for you. It really just allows you to quieten the noise, hear the signal, and take you back to that place of saying, who am I fundamentally, which means what are my innate qualities. That's really what the blueprint is trying to do.
Right.
And once you have that with you, now remember that once you have that with you, now it's all about your life. Now it's your journey. Now you've got a starting point. Okay? I know this is who I am. Now I need to look at my life all the time to see how can I reshape it so that I'm much more aligned to who I truly am and I don't get myself into situations where I'm inherently in conflict with who I am. It might not be easy to do immediately, but gradually you will get to a place where you're more and more and more and more aligned to who you truly are. And that journey, it's an extraordinarily beautiful journey, highly enjoyable journey. So journey is the reward in many ways. It's not this final mythical point where it's all in alignment. No, the wonder is really that day-to-day journey of observing yourself, becoming more self-aware, seeing what you truly are, seeing how that affects your life, and slowly shaping that life back into it. A very intensely personal journey at one level, but a very, very rewarding journey, but a journey that requires some support.
Right.
And that support is really what we do after the blueprint, right? So that's the thing. So the salon, in a sense, exposes you to the core knowledge, the essential wisdom, which is that one-line secret, that how you get to a great place is by leading a life that's aligned to who you truly are. Once you go past that, we give you a blueprint, which is like the doorway to your journey, which is really saying, let me figure out who I truly am, and we enable you to discover that. And then after that is the journey that you go on with yourself, saying, okay, now how do I reshape my life? And in that journey, we recognize you will need support. And that giving of support is the big part of the Leela Life Method, and really our our big purpose and mission in the world.